In the recent past, if you observe closely, the quality of the budget smartphone has increased many-fold, thanks to the prevailing competition. With the arrival of new companies, including Amazon's Tenor and Flipkart's Billion in the smartphone market, it is evident that the budget devices comes with an admirable build quality, adequate processing power, and much more. Today, in this video, we will be reviewing the recently launched Tenor D smartphone. To start off with, Tenor made its debut in the Indian market with Tenor E smartphone last year, and it launched the Tenor G later. Last month, it launched its most affordable Tenor D smartphone as a part of Crafted for Amazon program. With an impressive specifications for its range, did it live up to our expectation? Let's find it out. The Tenor D has a 5.2-inch display with a pixel density of about 282 ppi. It has a 400 nits brightness, so the display is bright, colors are vibrant, viewing angles and the sunlight legibility is good. Even though this smartphone comes with the huge bezels on the top and bottom of the screen, the company opted for an on-screen navigation button, which looks kind of weird. The Tenor D lacks an ambient light sensor for auto brightness, so you have to adjust the brightness manually when you are outdoors. Having said that, it has a gyroscope and magnetic sensor, otherwise known as magnetometer, for VR headsets. Another thing worth mentioning here is that it has a dedicated slot for both SIM and memory card. It has a single tray on the left where 2 nano SIMs and a microSD cards are accompanied. In terms of build, it comes with a polycarbonate body that is prone to smudges. But the build quality is decent compared to the metal finish on the first two Tenor smartphones. This smartphone offers good grip and feels compact as well. Coming to the performance, the phone is powered by quad-core Snapdragon 425 mobile platform and has a 2GB and 3GB of RAM depending on the variant. The performance is good without any lags. Since this is not a powerful chipset, the GPU is just average, which in turn results in the average gaming performance. Additionally, the phone gets a bit warm on a prolonged 4G usage and gaming, which by the way doesn't get too hot to handle. Talking about the optics, the Tenor D sports a 13 megapixel rear camera with f2.0 aperture and a single LED flash beside it. The front side is taken care of 5 megapixel with f2.2 aperture. The camera user interface is simple and offers various modes to choose from. It also has a beautify feature for both the front and rear cameras. Coming to the image quality, the daylight shots were decent if there is a bright light, otherwise it came out dull. It also doesn't focus quickly when you want to capture macro shots, so most of the shots end up blurry. HDR shots were better with improved contrast and saturation, but those looks artificial. Low light shots had a lot of noise even though the camera switches to low light mode when you set it to auto. The 5 megapixel front facing camera is decent for selfies and video chats, but it could have been better since the image don't have much details. In a nutshell, the camera of the Tenor D is just average. The phone runs on Android 7.1.2 Nougat, which is stock with some additional apps. The company has also promised Android Oreo update even though it has not provided a rollout time frame yet. Out of 3GB of RAM, you will get around 1.7GB of RAM free on the first boot. Out of 32GB of inbuilt storage, you get around 23GB of usable storage since operating system and apps takes about 6.1GB of storage. One of the biggest plus point in the Tenor D is its fingerprint scanner. It unlocks the phone even the screen is off. It is quick most of the time to unlock the phone but takes about a second to unlock when the screen is off. You can add about 5 fingerprint and you can also use the fingerprint to authorize Google Play purchases. Coming to the battery life, the Tenor D is powered by 3500 mAh built-in battery and it offers a good battery life. It lasts for more than a day with average usage and lasts for a day with heavy use on a single charge. Sadly, the phone doesn't have a fast charging, so it takes close to 3 hours to charge the phone from 0% to 100 and takes about 1.5 hours to charge from 0 to 50%. Overall, at the starting price of Rs 4,999, the Tenor D is a decent budget smartphone. This goes head to head with the Xiaomi's Redmi 5A that costs just the same. Talking about the good parts, it has a dedicated SIM slot, a good display, offers a good battery life and also has a fingerprint scanner. But on the downside, it lacks an ambient light sensor for automatic brightness adjustment that is present in most of the smartphones these days. Also, the camera is just average. The 10RD smartphone with 2 gigs of RAM and a 16 gigs of storage comes around 4,999, while the 3 gigs of RAM and a 32 gigs of onboard storage variant cost you around 5,999. So this is it guys for the review. Do hit the like button, share and subscribe.